One of the tricky things about discussing the idea of sustainability and global futures is that you can think of those terms in a lot of wide-ranging ways. And I think a central tension that we explore is the relationship between nature and culture, and how those nature-culture relations enable us to think about our connections to the planet and our influences on the planet in new ways. And so we're thinking not just about how do we save the planet, but how do we redesign, how do we radically shift and transform these relations between our cultures and what we think of as nature. Are we part of nature? Are we outside of nature? Are these two separate things? Or how are they intertwined and entangled? And what does that mean for how we teach students, how we inspire and enable citizens to think about their choices and their actions in the future and in the present? So I'm involved in the Sustainability and Global Futures LFC, and one of the big questions we're trying to tackle in that agenda is how all of the independent efforts or the regional efforts that are somewhat isolated can come together. And so we're trying to organize events that bring networks into conversation and to champion the good work that's already unfolding and helping all of those organizations know how to know who, how to figure out the relations that can enable them to advance their agendas in smarter ways. We all work very hard around sustainability and global futures, but oftentimes we're not leveraging the momentum in our individual organizations or associations in ways that can lead to regional impact, or even be an exemplar of regional impact that can inspire other eco-regions or other nations, however you want to divide up the globe, into deeper, more meaningful, more lasting collaboration. I was drawn to the Learning Futures Collaboratives for a number of reasons, but I think most importantly is the idea of team science, or how we can go further, faster together. And I think that's a resource that our college has. The diversity and size of our faculty enables us to kind of network and think about our relations in novel ways, maybe ways that can be a little bit more difficult when you're at either a smaller institution or an institution that's more hierarchical. So the flatness of our college, I think, primes us for these opportunities to cut across some of the silos in our disciplinary communities. And I think that's what this LFC agenda is all about. And I think this is what the Learning Futures Collaboratives are all about, is breaking down these silos and creating space for our faculty to connect and to explore possibilities in ways that we might not typically or ordinarily. The work that this LFC is pursuing and trying to accomplish in this next year is imperative, because we need to position youth with a voice and with the capacity to act and influence the global future that we're all a part of. The work will involve not only bringing together these pathways through which students can contribute, these organizations, associations that are working in the greater Phoenix area, but also positioning teachers to support youth work as well. So one of the other outcomes that's being informed by these efforts is developing a master's degree program that enables teachers and other adults who want to contribute to these agendas to find pathways into schools where they can have sustained support for agendas that youth want to bring to the table, or even to inspire and enable youth to explore possibilities they weren't even aware of as they got started on these journeys. Looking ahead to where we hope to be with this LFC in a year, I think one of my own personal hopes is that we've amplified possibilities for what we might accomplish. It's hard to take action in a large and complex system like education and make real change in a year. This is an example of slow educational research. The outcome isn't about simply producing a paper, as if that were simple. This is about bringing networks together and forging an alliance and a vision. And to that end, we won't have a singular insight or silver bullet or magical solution. But if we can amplify possibilities, not only within our college and the roles we can play and the support we can provide, but if we can see ourselves within this larger regional agenda, then I think we have greater agency in pivoting and figuring out how we can work with this dynamic landscape as it continues to evolve in the years to come.